Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tyler. If you are new, welcome. So as I've mentioned in previous videos of the past week or so, my For You page is a varied spectrum of cooking stuff, garage build stuff, like old hot rod type stuff, ghost hunting stuff, uh, variety of gaming stuff, from basic stuff all the way up to really nice multifaceted next gen computing stuff that I watch. I don't do it at the moment. Just a whole variety of things, and I'm bad about the fact that I used to try to learn a lot more as often as I could, but I've gotten lazy, and occasionally I still find stuff on YouTube where I'm learning about things, and this is one. Today I'll learn that there's a thing called corn sweats. Uh, I'm aware of a thing called the meat sweats, which is a very different thing from what corn sweats is, and this meteorologist lady, I'm gonna let her explain it.
Evapotranspiration, corn sweat. These are some terms that you've probably read about, you've probably seen pop up over the last week or so. It's gone somewhat viral. Just to be clear, this is not a new thing. Here's Baby Morgan about a decade ago talking about evapotranspiration, aka corn sweat, on the air 10 years ago. So what is happening exactly? Let's start with the word evapo in that, evapotranspiration. And I think most people know what evaporation is, right? It's a cooling process meteorologically. And essentially what's happening is liquid water, you probably learned about it in the water cycle back in the day. Liquid water takes energy around it, in this case heat. It absorbs that heat, which means it cools down the air around it, which is why it's a cooling process. And then that's transferred into the gas state. Water vapor in this case. So water vapor is then released into the atmosphere. It's how we bring water back into the atmosphere, but it's also how you can increase moisture in the atmosphere. And by increase moisture, I mean like increase humidity. Okay, let's get to the transpiration part of that word, because I think that's the part that nobody really knows what that means. And I think it's important to note that it's not just corn that goes through evapotranspiration. All plants go through this, but you're obviously reading a lot about corn. This is also not a primary source of humidity, right? This kind of changes humidity by a very small fraction. Maybe if you have dews in the upper 70s, it could bump you to 80. It's nothing like the Gulf that's pumping in moisture and bringing us tons of humidity. So grain of salt with some of this. Okay, so evapotranspiration kind of combines evaporation from the Earth's soil with transpiration from, in this case, corn. Now, what on earth is transpiration? This is where it starts to get fun. Basically, your corn, any crop, again, but we're talking about corn, sucks up moisture from the soil into its roots, and it stores it in its stems and in its healthy leaves. And then on the underside of the leaves, there's these tiny little holes, and that is where water starts to transpire. Basically, the liquid turns to water vapor, which is the gas form of water, and that's released into the atmosphere. When you're releasing more water vapor into the atmosphere, you're increasing the moisture content, which means you're increasing the dew point, which means it's going to feel muggier. And that, my friends, would be corn.